Yes, people, what's going on? What's going on? Welcome back to the channel, people. As always, make sure that you lot are smashing up the lights. Make sure that you're subscribing to the channel. Love for 7K, people. Road to 10K. It's a madness out here, man. We've got the last preview of the game of the season, Jim. You know what I mean? Last preview of the season, people. Yeah, like I said here, winner takes all. Nottingham Forest versus Chelsea. I should be at that game as well, though. So if I'm there, hopefully we'll link
No,
up.
you got to be there, Don, man. You got to be there. You got to be there. I want to see tears. I want to see tears, man.
How are you, first of all, as a guest on the show? How are you, first of all, man? Let me get this on here as well.
Man. I'm buzzing, brother. I'm looking forward to this game. I didn't expect it, as you lot will know, to be thinking about Champions League football. But this, to me, I think it's been for like a couple of months now. Everyone's saying this game is due to be the decided game. So listen, Don, I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully Forest get the win.
Listen, hopefully not, Jem. What are you saying, bro? You good?
I'm always good. Yeah, I'm all right. I just, you know how it is being a Chelsea fan. You just don't know what Chelsea's going to turn up game by game. We know what we need to do. It's a bit like Forest. We're both in the same position. Yeah, it's funny because we've both been in the top four for quite a lot of a period throughout the season. So this is a bit of a hard one here because, like, no one expected Forest to be in the position they're in and find themselves so far up. Obviously, I can't speak for these two, but even if they don't make Champions League, getting Europa League must obviously be quite a good thing, for Forest fans. But for a Chelsea fan, we need Champions League football, man. That's where we should be, So
100%. And when we played these guys last time, Jem, I was bigging them up, man. I said they're a good team, bro. Back to front and a really good balance.
Yeah.
And it's nice. It's nice to see, someone different instead of the Spurses and the Man Uniteds. We love seeing these guys in the mud.
No, I don't talk about them, man. But they're not top 6 team, Don. So forget about them too.
Exactly, they are, bro. They are. You know what I mean? But listen, unfortunately for you boys, we're fighting for the same thing right now, Des. You know what I mean? How are you feeling, first of all, bro? You good?
I'm good. Apart from these technical issues with this camera I'm having, no, really looking forward to the game. It's going to be a big one, isn't it? And if we could have had this on the first day of the season, would have snatched your hand off. So we've got it all to play for, as have you guys, and it's going to be a great occasion. I imagine there's going to be a few goals and a bit of to-in and throw-in of which way it goes, and there's just going to be so much to take from the last game of the season. And that's all you really want as a football fan, isn't it? You just want to be playing for something all the time. And right now we're playing for the biggest prize that we could have ever imagined of and hoping to kick you guys out along the way.
Boy, listen, we'll see about that, man. Mador, first of all, bro, now looking at the season, last game of the season, as it stands right now, you can still get Champions League football. Last year, bro, you were flirting with relegation. I think your home form is what actually saved you. And funny enough, we played you towards the end of last season as well, bro. Away. It wasn't our last game, but I think it was second to last game, Jim, innit? When we played these guys. I think it was second to last game. Reece comes off the bench, helps us get an assist to, get over the line. But what is it for you, Dord, where, the main reason you would say, or one of the reasons, what's the factors as to how Forest have managed to get themselves in this position, man?
You know what it's done? When you said when you beat us 3-2 last season, the defense was a massive issue. But this time, this issue, Mr. Nuno has sorted out the defense. He sorted out the set pieces because that's where most of our goals was from last season. And when we sorted out the team, we've got a less squad this time, as everyone knows. We brought in 30 players, we brought in 15 players the second season, blah blah blah. But now we've got a smaller squad, but better players. And we brought in Niko Milikovic, who brought it from Fiorentina. And as everyone expected, I knew he was a fantastic player, but we didn't expect him to be as a fantastic player alongside Milo. And as you know, Ola Aina, ex-Chelsea player, another fantastic right back. He can play left back as well. The whole back four has been fantastic, and that's where it's been consistent with the goalkeepers, Matt Sells as well. Best goalkeeper in the Premier League for me. He's kept the most clean sheets with Raya. And that's where it's based on defense. As you know, Nuno has been an ex-goalkeeper as well, and that's where the problem was. And as me and Des, we've been to every single game and going to games like we drawn with you lot 1-1, and that was a great game as well. But listen, it's been a great season for us, and scoring goals. And I know I've seen your chats as well about Chris Wood done.
Yep.
He's been fantastic for us. And listen,
He has.
This game, would me and Des expect us to be the last game for Champions League football? No. And now me and Des be excited. Look forward to you lot coming to City Ground. And listen, it's going to be a great game. And whatever happens, I'm excited. I don't no disrespectful. Like, if we get conference, it's amazing. Listen, I want Europa. Champions League will be a massive bonus. But listen, me and Des, we didn't expect us to be talking about this Champions League football. But listen, I'm excited.
No, 100%, man. I hear it, man. Because you've come a long way. You know, you remind me of little Chelsea, right? Because we all saw how Forest were just spending a lot of money. You know what I mean? Des, you guys were spending a lot of money, and people were crashing it on you guys in the media. What's all these players? Every 2 seconds, I'm seeing you lot linked to a new midfielder. You even signed Andre Santos, my boy, who's doing very well this season. You know what I mean? Very, very well this season. And I was begging for this guy to get more minutes for you lot, but you'd rather go for experience. You know what I mean? That's what the problem was at the time, right? How are you feeling, Des, going into this game, man? Are you feeling quite confident because you're at home? It's going to be rocking, bro. You know, how are you feeling going into this game?
Absolutely. Do you know, we fancy ourselves against anybody at the moment, even though we've fallen off a little bit. You know, the season's caught up with us. Bit thin on the ground, you know, when we get 1 or 2 injuries and suspensions and we can't bring in like for like. So it's been a bit of a struggle the last couple of weeks, but a big game at the City Ground, everybody knows what the atmosphere is like. Everybody knows we can be quite intimidating as a fan base, and the pitch is close to the stands, you know, and it's always going to be full. It's an old-fashioned type ground, what generates a lot of noise. So yeah, on any given day, we fancy our chances against anybody. We've beat Man City at home. We beat Man United at home. We had a big game against Liverpool where we took points off them again after beating them away. So anyone at home,
only team that beat them away, Des. Just put that out there. Des.
Yeah, but anyone at home, I just fancy is on these type of occasions. We've got a lot of big match experience over the last couple of years, from getting through the playoffs in the Championship, you know, to big relegation survival encounters over the last couple of seasons, and now it's kind of flipped on its head, and it's at the other end of the table. But it all counts for something. You touched on there, your guy Santos couldn't get in. Forest got Premier League experience in the end, which kept us here. And then we've gone out and got some raw talent like Callum Hudson-Odoi from yourself and Ilanga, and these guys have started to become a lot more consistent, you know, and they really love playing at the City Ground. They really enjoy the atmosphere and the banter with the crowd and that kind of thing, and it takes them to another level. Oloaina, as Dor mentioned, him and Hudson-Odoi are thick as thieves, you know, they're crazy, but you can see they're enjoying it on the pitch, and that just sort of goes into the crowd and brings us all up another level. So we fancy anything. We fancy ourselves against anyone at home, even if it has been a bit sticky and a bit rocky. But anything now for Forest is a bonus. We know we've got Conference League. So if we pick up Europa or Champions League, it's just an absolute bonus. And all of a sudden, from a bit of doom and gloom, we're really excited about what we could potentially have.
100%, man. And Jem, how does that make you feel? You know what I mean? Hearing that these guys are always up for it at home. We know what it's like having a tight ground, Jem, because we have one ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And for me, I was just saying on the terrace, we need to make sure that we go in that game with the mentality of we're going to win this game, right? Because we have the quality to beat these guys. You know, we went punch for punch at the Bridge last time. That game was mad. Chels and Sanchez is the reason why.
The red card as well.
Yeah, it's the reason why we ended up dropping points that game. And obviously in Cuckoo, bro. Remember that in Cuckoo, that header? Mudryk, when he cooked in for him. I was right behind it, Des. I was right behind it, though. You know what I mean? And that was mad for me. So in that game, the keepers helped each team get a point. But how you feeling this time around? Go on.
No, don't forget Jota Silva. Jota Silva nearly scored as well, right? Yeah. And then you went over the other way around and nearly scored. So that was a mad game.
It was, man. It was so frustrating being there and seeing the chances that we had. But yeah, Dwayne scored as well for us. But Jem, how are you feeling going into this game, man? How did we get over the line, bro?
Firstly, I think it's funny that Nottingham Forest have decided to ban Gary Neville from commentary or even stepping foot in the stadium. I think that's absolutely hilarious. So we have a new commentary on Sunday for that one. So that's quite good. Fair enough. To be fair, Gary Neville's been a bit of an idiot most of the season, especially towards us as well. So we're kind of back you on that one, I think. But yeah, in terms of football, yeah, I mean, look, it's going to be a tough one. You know, they play very well at home. The one thing I'll say with Forest is the crowd always get behind their team. You know, it doesn't matter if they're behind, if they're ahead, they always seem to know how to, you know, to sort of rise the players' performances. But from our perspective, it's just about again a couple of things. One, not having them bozo moments that we can have, you know, individual error moments at the back. Sanchez in goal, by the way, he's been all right so far for a couple of games. You know, playing our strongest team is going to be important. I think our midfield are going to have to try and win that midfield battle. And then the attack, I know we've not got no Jackson. It's obviously it'll be interesting to see if he goes with Tyreek George again or if he's going to actually go with Neto up front this time. He's got a bit more options.
Tyreek. I don't think he will, man.
No, I think it's going to be Neto personally, and then it's going to be Madueke and probably Sancho. I think will probably play. Depends actually, because I think Lavia might also start. So let's see what happens with that. But it's I think, you know, it's a big game at the end of the day. If we can up our tempo for that game, I think technically we're probably better than them. I think what they're very good at doing, watching them this season, Forest, is the counter. You know, they have so much speed. I think Alanga's a big problem. I think Gibbs White is a big problem. And I think we have to try and make sure that we cut out the supply to Chris Wood. You know, don't allow them to hit us on the break and find him in the box. Because I'm not going to lie, aerially, bro, I don't think we're that great defensively. You know that. You've seen how Colwell defends aerially. You've seen how the others are in the box. So, you know, it's going to be about how quickly can Chelsea cut out them counter-attacks when we lose the ball. And if we can minimise them as much as possible and keep the pressure on in their half. You know, but we can do it. Of course we can do it. We're Chelsea at the end of the day. And, you know, even though we're not in great form, you know, hopefully it's that time that Palmer rises and he steps up and someone takes advantage, you know. So let's see, man.
No, I hear what you're saying, bro. I hear what you're saying, man. But for me, like I said, Jem, I'm looking at Forest's form right now, right? So going all the way back. Let me even share my screen so you guys can see their recent form in comparison to ours. So this has been their recent results since, let's go back to April, right? So they beat Brighton. Remember that game they beat Brighton 4-0, yeah? Then after
7-0.
that, 7-0, yeah?
7-0.
And then in April here, right? So you beat Man United 1-0. Then you lost to Villa 2-1. Then you lost to Everton 1-0. Then you just about beat Spurs. They should have fucking even beaten you in that second half, though. The chances that they had in that game.
Oh, they did. Yeah.
You know what I mean? They lost there. Then they lost to Man City. Then they lost to Brentford. Then they drew to Palace. Then they drew to Leicester, right? They beat West Ham. Cool. Fairs. West Ham are shocking. But when you actually break this down, Jem, they are not on great form, right? This is not the type of form that I'm looking at and thinking, bro, like, you know, we can't, we shouldn't, it's going to be a bit of a struggle on that. Of course, it's going to be a struggle, but when I'm looking at our form, right, if I bring up our form, Chelsea's recent results, yeah, you'll see the difference in our form right now. Because I know you said we're not in great form, but Jem, we're not in bad
When
form.
I say form, I don't mean in terms of winning, because we have been winning. Don't get barring Newcastle, we've won all of our last sort of. I thought it's more about how we're going to turn up and, you know, how we're going to provide. Like, I don't really worry too much about our performances, but I do think in this game we're going to have to pay to a certain level to get the job done, because Nottingham Forest, they're at home. They shouldn't need a rocket up their ass to play for Champions League football. If they turn up half-heartedly, I'm pretty sure these two can admit they're probably going to end up getting, you know, going to be in a bit of trouble. They've got to go out there and play, you know, and they should want to. They've got a massive opportunity here to get in the Champions League. They shouldn't need anything to push them, you know. So
cool. But if you look at it here, this is our form. So I'll go all the way from Ipswich, right? So again, we drew against Ipswich. We come from behind there. We lost that game against Liga, but that was basically done in the first leg. We beat Fulham. We beat Everton. We beat Jorgaden, right? We beat Liverpool, right? We beat Jorgaden again, right? If that's how you pronounce it. We lost to Newcastle again. There's a little blip there, but we didn't play badly in the second half. Jackson gets sent off. For me, we would have come back if we had 11 men in that game, right? We beat Man United. So, and you actually look at who's on better form right now. It's us. And that's why I keep stressing right now that we got to go in there with the mentality of we're going to win. I need Palmer to have another performance like what he did against Liverpool, bro, the other week. Because last week he wasn't the best.
The only thing I think we're missing here, Don, in all of this is I think our performances have not been great. We can agree that we've watched us play a lot better, you know, earlier on in the season. But But our away form's not good, bro. But like,
which performance would you say hasn't been great though? Because
Newcastle away was not a good start. I mean, if you look at the way we played against Newcastle, that was not a good. In terms of an away performance and needing 3 points, that wasn't really a good performance. Yeah, the first half was crazy.
The first half was bad, but I thought we were better in the second half.
But we've been like that all season. We've been like that all season. In the first half. We've just not played well.
I think against United again, we were shit in the first half. Was better in the second half.
Same thing, exactly.
I think against Liverpool, I thought from start to finish we were good in that game. I thought against Fulham we were good in the second half more than anything. Against Everton,
it's always the second half, isn't it? This is what I'm saying, Joe. There's a same riff with Chelsea. It's always that we play better in the second halves of games, and that's my point. We're getting the job done, and I don't care as long as we get the W. I don't care how we win. If it means it's a Nottingham Forest own goal and it finishes 1-0 to Chelsea, I'll take that. Like, I don't care at this point. Just win the game.
That's what I'm saying. I strongly disagree with this. We'll come on to Forest in a second. I strongly disagree with this, bro. Right? Because if you go look at overall, I'm not saying every single game we've been very good in these games. No one's saying that. But against Everton, bro, we put out a very good dogged performance there, and we were clinical. Right? Against Man United, we get the job done. We find a bit of quality in the second half. Not the greatest performance. Again, that
wasn't
United,
good, though, was it?
Right? Liverpool for me was a good performance. Newcastle first half was shit. Second half I thought was good. Fulham, especially going on from, I'll probably say towards the end of the first half, going into the second half, I thought we were the better team. Right? So when I'm looking at it here, we haven't been playing badly. We've been playing well enough to get over the line. You know what I mean? But Des, who are you looking at right now, in Chelsea's team that, you think is going to be a massive problem? Because we're missing Jackson for the game, and Tyreek last week he started. For me, we can't be starting him up top against Murillo and Milinkovic, bro. I think he'll get eaten up, physically. You know what I'm saying? So what would you say, Des, like in terms of who you're looking at? Who's the main threat you're really looking at from Chelsea's team?
Des, you're mute. You're mute.
I think the obvious one is Cole Palmer, isn't it? I know it's probably the one everybody looks out for, but if he's on form, you guys seem to be on another level, and it seems to be with his different form that you've just fallen off in terms of performances. I'm with you both in terms of where you're at. You're getting the results, which have just about kept you in there. There was a spell about 6 weeks ago where your form was pretty similar to Forest. You couldn't buy a win.
Your mic's quite low, Des. I don't think they can hear you.
Mic's low.
Low. They said, is he talking from 7th place? That's funny.
It's low, Des. It's just too low.
So low. I tried to turn it up all the way, but it's still quite low.
I don't know what it is. I'm still at work having technical issues. I'm not doing.
Go back on your phone, Des. Go back on your phone.
Go back on your phone, Des.
Just go back on your phone. I'll remove you off stage for now, yeah?
Fucking behave from Des.
But go on, tell us, man. Who would you say is the biggest threats you're looking at, really?
Listen, we mentioned Cole Palmer, but from a Forest fan, he's not been great as everyone expected. Mm. So the player I'm more worried about because it's Fernandes. Because when I came to you, and I remember the first half. Like, I remember Chelsea fans were slating Ryan Yates before even getting bowled. Ryan Yates just took him out the first minute. And that's what whoever plays in that midfield is going to ruffle Fernandes from the start. Because if we do, like, got Fernandes, got Caicedo, you ruffle them two out, I think we win it. Because you can say, is it Neneke, the left winger?
Okay.
Listen, if Chelsea bullies in that midfield, and then you got a chance. So that's where I think, because with our midfield we've got Dominguez, Sangare, we've got Ryan Yates as well. If we keep Fernandes quiet all game, I think we won it. So the player that I'm more worried about is Fernandes. Defenses, I'm not going to lie. I hope Cornwall gets another own goal, because I don't know if you lot know he was on loan at Huddersfield when we went to playoff final. If he gets another own goal, he'll be a legend at Forest again. So hopefully we'll keep Fernandes quiet, and that's what we got to do, because you've got no Jackson, and I think you look can slate Jackson much as you want, but I think he just needs that one shot and you'll score. because like you
I
mentioned,
don't know about that.
no, it's right.
But
Because who's your number 9? Because I think I saw a press conference that the youngster he signed from Barcelona. He's all right.
Mark Gill.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's not going to start. He's not going to start against Milenkovic, especially Milenkovic, because no one's going to pass Milenkovic. And George, come on, you just said it, Don. George is not going to be as a number 9 past Milenkovic. Yeah, George is fast, but we've got Murillo, so it's not going to work. So
Murillo fit, yeah.
Listen to me. We can still we'll bring in Morata. We don't, like I said, the problem is we've got 2 fantastic centre backs. Forest fans have been slating Morata for the last week, but I still feel he can still do a job past your whoever is your number 9. So if Murillo doesn't start, we've got Morata. But listen, the main thing is to stop Fernandes, because if he's got free space in that midfield, it's going to be a good game. But listen,
this is Enzo's biggest fan. Right here. I know right now Jem's just getting rocky, blood. You know what I mean?
Listen, it's 78 created chances for the whole season, 20 GNA. You know, with Cole, and I keep saying, as Cole Palmer's fizzed out, who's the one that's been stepping up, crashing the box, scoring goals, and creating in most, in a lot of our games? It's Enzo Fernandez. So what he's saying is right. You keep that guy quiet, because with him on the ball, if he gets the ball and starts dictating and playing balls behind and controlling that midfield, then it is going to be a long day for Forest, because he will. You just can't give him time on the ball for me, Enzo. That's the one player I can't give him time on the ball.
It's like that. Yeah. When I mentioned Ryan Yates, just the first 10 minutes, first 10 seconds, got into him, and he got marred for the whole game, and he got subbed off because Ryan Yates done his job. That's what Ryan Yates does. Keeps Fernandes quiet, and then Fernandes gets Mardy. And I don't know if you remember, I think it was Williams done something to him, and everyone just gone on to him, because keep Fernandes quiet, we win the game. That's how I think.
I mean, listen, there's other threats in the team, innit? I know Palmer hasn't been the best this season, Des, in all honesty, especially in front of goal, but he's still creating at a high rate. Madueke did score against you guys last time. He had 2 howler of misses the other day. I'm praying he comes back on Sunday with a vengeance to rectify those mistakes, Obviously, Caicedo's been playing very well right now. So for me, we should be winning that midfield battle, Des. But Ibrahim's got a question here. It says, do you leave space in behind?
No, because we've got Murillo. No, we don't. No. Because like I said, the difference between Milenkovic, he's one of them with snapping shot. If you play over the top, we've got Murillo. So that's the best thing about having 2 different kinds of centre backs players, because it happens loads of times with if I don't know who can talk about who's fast. Man City, when we played Man City at home, was playing long balls over the top, and Murillo was always there. So listen, to that question, no, we don't.
Yeah, so you can see here, Forest have only conceded 2 more goals than us. So Chelsea, funny enough, again, have the 3rd best defense in the league. Forest are, right up there as well. Defensively, they're good. They've got Chels, who hopefully gets that golden glove. I don't want Raya to get it. You know what I'm trying to say? And yeah, he does, man. Me and Lee Gunner had a little bet on that Noni.
Shout out Lee Gunner.
Yeah, big up Lee. Yeah, and yeah, I said he would get 10 goals. And to be fair, this guy's had more than enough chances to score more than 10. He's just bad in front of goal, Gem, at times. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, he's just very unpredictable. You can sometimes with Madueke, I feel like he thinks he's better than what he is. Sometimes the way he carries himself, and I don't mind that. We have that kind of that aura about you, but he needs to be a bit more consistent in his own game, especially in the final third. And it's not only just with goals, it's also with his final third decision making sure he makes the right pass. I think they're going to be very hard to break down, Forest. I think they're going to do what they always do. They're going to, they're going to have numbers behind the ball. The defense is always well organised, well structured. Milenkovic is always shouting across, making sure that they're aware of what their task is. But I think the most important thing for us, if we're going to get a win, is crashing the box with numbers, not leaving, getting it out to the wings and not having no one in the box to be able to to be able to attack it. The only problem we got is we're not really going to beat them aerially in the box. I can't see Neto or Enzo, who are very small, winning balls in the air. So for me, it's going to be about the cutbacks. You get into the final third, cut it back, and just arrive onto it and try and smash it in the back of the net. I think it's got to be the way that we approach this game, to be fair. But no, I'm intrigued, man. I'm really intrigued to see how this goes. I think Madueke's got to turn up. Is he going to play on the left? Is he going to play on the right? What do you think, Dom? Do you think he's going to? What do you think we're going to do with him?
I think he'll probably play. I think he'll probably play midweek on the right. Look, let's go through lineups. Actually, that's a great segue there.
This is where Chelsea, though, and Cole Palmer are really important, because you won't get in behind Forest. You'll get in front of Forest. You'll get behind the midfield, but you won't get behind the defence. So anybody sort of breaking on the edge of the box, Enzo or Cole Palmer, are going to be a real threat to Forest, because we haven't got that natural defensive midfielder like a Caicedo. You know, that's where we let ourselves down. You will win the game in the midfield if you win. We will win it defensively if we win.
No, exactly. So that's spot on, bro. We need to make sure that we're clinical to win this game, man. But let me play the formation. You guys play a 4-2-3-1, don't you?
Yeah.
4-2-3-1, yeah. All right. So go on, Dor. So Chels in goal. Chels in goal.
Yeah, Chels in goal. That's usual back four, yeah. The usual back four.
Back four, yeah.
The back four will be Olaina,
Milinkovic,
Williams, Milenkovic, and Murillo.
Milinkovic. How do you spell it again? There we go. Milinkovic. Listen, I saw this guy at the bridge live, bro, and he's a fucking unit. Yeah, he is a unit, bro. He's you know what I mean. And then Nico Williams over here.
Yeah, Nico Williams.
Okay, so Nico Williams. Right.
They will cope with your attack, your strikers and your wingers. They will cope with them between them.
And then what are you saying for the midfield, though?
Well, me personally, I love Yatesy. I want to love Yatesy just to smack Fernandez, not literally, just first 10 seconds again and just whack him off, because that's what we need. But Sengaro's been playing there for last 3 or 4 games. So personally, I think Sangaro will play there alongside Sangari and Anderson. Elliot Anderson will play there.
Elliot Anderson, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Where is he?
The Dutch.
Anderson. How do you spell his name? Is it E?
E-double-L.
There we go. Yeah, I found him.
Yeah.
He's brothers with the guy that was on Love Island, isn't it? Will.
Love Island, yeah.
Okay. And then your 10, Morgan Gibbs-White, of course.
Yeah, Gibbs-White.
Gibbs-White. There we go. And then what we saying on the wings?
What do you think? Do you think Dominguez will play?
No, I think Forest have got to win, so they'll play Callum Hudson-Odoi, who's not 100%, and Elanga, because what we need is Elanga up against Cucurella, because when Cucurella goes forward, we need Elanga in utilising that space.
Pace, yeah. I think.
So when he goes wandering, that's where we could potentially eat you on the counter attack and outnumber you.
I hear it. Jem, what are you saying about that lineup there, man?
No, I was just say it's a strong lineup. I think Reece James, if he's playing, will deal with Hudson-Odoi. They know each other well anyway. Don't get me wrong. That's something.
He did it last season at Arsenal when James played right back. James was very good.
Callum scored, didn't it? Callum scored.
Yeah, it's got a great goal.
I remember it was a good goal. Elanga worries me because of his pace, and like you just said, Cucurella likes to go forward. Cucurella has been everywhere for us. He's up front scoring goals, and then he's in the midfield, and then he's back in his position. He's a bit everywhere. But yeah, like I keep saying, Forest are going to be a threat on the counter more than anything for me, and that's where they're going to catch us out when we're out of position.
100%. Do you think that you guys could go to a back 5 potentially, Des, or do you think he'll definitely keep this shape?
I think they'll keep that shape to start with. What we do if we're winning in games, we tend to last 20, 30 minutes. We tend to stick on Morata as well and go with 5 in there and take one of the wingers off. So it just depends how the game pans out. If we're chasing the game, we'll be sticking to that for as long as we can. I'd actually like to see Yates play instead of Sangare, because, again, for the same reasons as Dor, he'll get about your midfield a bit and upset them, whereas that's all a bit nice in there at the moment. But I think the longer the game goes on, depending on which way it's going, if we're chasing it, we haven't got many more attacking options. That's a good team. That's a good 11. But other than that, we haven't got much to come off the bench. So we'll stick with it. But if we're winning, it will definitely change. If we're trying to hold on to something, it'll definitely change to a back 5.
So Marino's a doubt then at the minute. It's not guaranteed to start then, yeah?
It's not a doubt, but I personally think he'll play. because
If he plays, he won't be fit though, innit? He won't be.
That doesn't mean no. The way Murillo is, he walks differently, and everyone assumes that he's injured because he got injured at the end of the West Ham game in the first half, but he still played the second half. So I still feel he'll play. He'll play regardless anyway. So yeah,
he'll play. He'll play if he's 75% fit because he's that much. He's a cut above anything else we've got. And what he does with the ball and sort of driving forward, he adds a bit of a different dimension.
Yeah.
No, I hear it, man. I hear it. Let's go. Let's oh, is Des there?
Des,
He's cut off.
It's cut off again.
Hold on. Am I here, guys? Can you guys hear me? Yeah.
Yeah. You're all right. Yeah.
Yeah, all right. You're fine.
I don't know what's happened to Des. Des just disappeared, man. All right, cool. Let me get my.
He's at work. That's what it is. He's at work. This never happens. He's at work.
Okay. All right, cool. So let's go through ours then, Jem. So let me just share this. All right, cool. So look, some of these we don't really need to go back and forth with. It'll be Sanchez in goal.
Put the fraud in goal.
Sanchez in goal. What you say? Do you think Reece will start this game, bro?
It's the problem, isn't it? Because is Lavia going to start? And if he does, how's he going to get in the team? That's the question, isn't it? What do you think? I think Reece has to start. Personally, I would start Reece. I think
after the last performance, I think he will start him. You know,
yeah.
And I think for majority of the game, I think obviously initially you need to ride that wave the first 10-15 minutes where they're pressing the fuck out of you and the crowd's rocking and that. But eventually, as soon as we get hold of the ball, bro, I think that's the plan, innit? To hold on to the ball. They'll probably sit back and look to get us on the counter.
And he's a threat in the forward line as well, isn't he? To be fair, further up, he'll be able to provide us with a bit of quality as well. So go with Reece to start with. Maybe Levy will come off the bench, I think.
100%, bro. So I think Reece will start.
There's backstage. There's backstage.
He's backstage, yeah. All right, let me just add him back there. All right, cool. And then in the middle, of course, Colwell.
I think he's going to play Colwell and Tosin just because of Chris Wood. I think he's going to try and match him aerially. Yeah, that's what I think. I think Tosin will play, not Chalobah.
Chalobah, because he actually did. Rasmus in it, but Tosin can actually get stuck in at times. To be fair,
stuck in on air. I mean, aerially, Tosin's strong, man. We don't talk about it enough. He is very strong in the air. Like he's dealt with a lot of number 9s in that position when he's been asked to come on and have that physical battle with people. Like, you know what I mean? So,
100%, bro. And then Caicedo, in here, Cucurella, I think will be inverting from that position. He needs to be careful as well because if it's Elanga on that side and you're leaving Cole up against Elanga, bro, that could be a problem. So he needs to be switched on.
I agree with that, but I think this is where we're going to do what we did against Man United, and we're going to press high where Cole was that third, like he covered Cucurella's position and pressed high, and then Cucurella works his way back, so he'll be on Elanga. Elanga won't have time to turn and stuff. It's going to, do you know what I mean? That's what I think is going to happen. Good
point. That was a very good sort of tactic I've seen, and that side of the game that he's developing to Cole now as well, James. It's a breath of fresh air, bro. It's a breath of fresh air, man, because Cole can be a little bit too nice at times. Now I'm seeing him getting quite gritty, getting stuck in. It's exactly what we want to be seeing. And then in the middle, listen, he's been playing Palmer recently on the right, so I'll keep Palmer on the right, in the right half space. And then Enzo Fernandez, last game wasn't great, but you saw, I told you lot in the group chat, bro, this guy, he's something going on with his eye. It came out that he was playing with
he did. Conjunctivitis.
Yeah, he was playing with that. Bro, trying to play football with one eye at this level, easy. It's not easy, bro. So his eye
was closed. So imagine running around with one eye in midfield trying to see the old game.
What's he done?
He had conjunctivitis in his eye.
Wow.
Yeah. So he didn't look well. He didn't look at it at all. So
he still played him, which was quite shocking, to be fair. It shows how important.
100%. And what we're saying on the wings, Jim, do you think will be Sancho on the left?
I would really have loved that we had Mark Guillou available, because this is the type of game where he would have suited this, because he could be a bit physical. We could drag him out of position. He could have given us something. Do you know what I mean? I think Madueke's going to play on the right. Yeah, Neto. Yeah, I'll go Madueke right, and then Sancho or Tyreek on the left? What do you reckon?
I
Or
think
would
he'll
it be
probably-
Madueke on the left and Tyreek on the right? I don't know. He could do that. He's done that before.
He has, but then who goes up top? Neto.
It's always Neto up front, but it's just who plays out of Sancho and George. That's the
I
question.
think he'll probably go. I think he'll probably go Sancho because we're playing against a low block. We need
Hey,
to.
hey, you're not playing. Hey, you're not playing against low block. No.
You're gonna a lot of the game. You're gonna be sitting.
You're going to be sitting behind the ball, and then you're going to counter on us.
behind the ball. Let's be real.
You know what? This is the problem. No disrespect to you lot, but this is a problem with rival fans. We don't play low block no more. Last season we did, and this season we're not. Guys, have we played low block? Talk to these guys, man.
I see you guys defending a lot, man. Low blocks.
It's mid. No, listen, I don't like the word low block anyway.
Mid block then. Yeah.
We just defend. We just defend. We don't play low block. Forget this nonsense. Even as the chat. Chat, do you like low block or what? The word, man. We play mid block. Mid block.
You know whatever block you put up here, we need to make sure that we've got someone that can unlock that block.
We just, you know what? I don't know if you lot saw the stats. We just give the other team more possession of the ball. That's all. We just let you
that's the point that I'm making, though. Like, if you're going to give us most of the ball, we're going to have a lot of touches in the box. You know what I mean? You're going to have a lot of touches in the box, bro. And I see you lot defending quite deep. You defend your box well with Aina, with Ola. Sorry, how do I call him Aina? With Ola, with Murillo, with Milinkovic. You know how to defend your box, innit? You know what I'm trying to say? So yeah, that will be. That will be me. I think Sancho will probably start on the left and you bring George off the bench. You know, that's the lineup there, man. What are you guys saying, Des? How are you feeling about that lineup there?
It's pretty much what I expect, you know, and like I say, I still see, I see what Door's saying. It is a low block, but it's kind of, you won't get many touches in the penalty area. You won't get through that back line with that team. It'll all be what you do in and around the centre circle and how quickly you sort of, if you can get players running at us and getting us running backwards, that's where you kind of pick up the game. And that looks a pretty attacking lineup. Obviously, you'd like a more focused striker in there, you know, somebody who scores a few more goals. But and probably to get about Milinkovic and Murillo, because I just think that they'll play on the front foot. That's where it's a bit different to the typical low block. Our guys actually play on the front foot, and as soon as we get the ball, the reason we attack so well is because the defence is on the front foot, beating players in. That rather than let the players sort of back into them and come, they're first into the ball and away. And that's where your midfield's got to be switched on when we do get the ball, because if they're a bit lazy or a bit lethargic, they'll just bypass it. If Gibbs White gets on the ball, he'll start doing what he does and getting it out to the wingers. Yeah, you've got good fullbacks, you know, especially Reece James. But I just think I think you just have to be careful about this low block thing. And this is what Door's trying to say, because it's a funny one, because we play on the front foot as a team, and that's what other teams are misunderstanding, because they think they can play into us, and the ball's going to sort of take time to come back out. With Milinkovic and Murillo especially, Murillo's the one, gets the ball, he could run 50 yards with it, he could pass it 50 yards, and nobody's really switched on to what he does, because they're all picking up the men in midfield and doing their jobs. So I just think, I think just have to be careful of that, because you will get lots of the ball. That's why I think if Chelsea are on it, and if balls are breaking in and around sort of 25, 30 yards, and players are sort of running off and really up for it, which I expect you guys to be, breaking into the box, that's what you need to be doing. If you're just trying to play it side to side, when we play City or Arsenal, we find at home, we find it quite easy, because although they're good at it, they just go side to side because they think ultimately they're going to break us down. It's the teams that run at us through the middle, like Bournemouth and Newcastle, you know, what really sort of tore us apart this season. Even at home, you know, Newcastle at home, they did exactly that. So I think you've got to be up for it. You've got to have the runners and the legs in midfield, which I believe you have, you know, to keep coming that way. Getting the ball out wide, trying to get in behind, you've not got a chance of getting anything from this game. And that's what makes me really confident. That's what makes me really confident that we can do a job on Chelsea from what I've seen. Because of like the Man U game, it was very slow, very passive. You know, you nicked it in the end. and that filled me with confidence, even though we'd have preferred you to get beat for obvious reasons. But seeing that
Yeah.
gives me a lot of confidence that we can take this one.
I think you guys I think what you guys do well is you attack your front three, attack the space as well. So even though you don't, when you haven't got the ball, you just get behind. You make sure that you're all in position, and that's what it's about being when you're in a system, right? It's about making sure that you're organised and you're in front of the ball. It's not behind you, and you can see what's going on. And then it's down to the opposition, like us and other teams, to break you down. But you're right. As soon as we lose the ball in whatever areas, whether it's in the midfield or if it's if it's your defence winning it off, the one thing I noticed really, which I think Forest do really well, is you just attack the space as well. You just use your speed to get into the space quickly, so that it allows you to get up the pitch quicker. And I think that's where we've got to be careful, because there will be moments where we get caught on the ball, but then it's about how quick we can recover it before it ends up hurting us, if that makes sense, and you end up getting in behind us. So that's going to be the key for me. If we can eliminate that and minimize that, then I think we're like, I'll say halfway there, but you know what I mean. I think we're there.
I think everybody expects us to lump it long to Chris Wood, and that doesn't happen. Wood takes up some unnatural positions for a striker. He gets between the lines. He comes deep. He gets between the midfield and the strikers. And then when he's got the ball, if he can get it out towards the door, he'll get Morgan Gibbs right back on the ball. He can make a different kind of run. And all of a sudden, but everybody thinks we get the ball and it goes big. It don't really work like that. We get it forward on the floor quickly, and Wood tends to hold it up and bring others in, and then the others get in behind him. And that's how we transition from defence to attack and break teams down ourselves.
Yeah.
No, 100%. I hear it, man. And as a home team, Dawn, what are you saying in terms of predictions, bro? Let's say, what are you saying prediction wise?
You know what? We need to win. You need to win. It's gonna be. I've got a feeling it's gonna be 1-1. I feel it's gonna be 1-1, and it's gonna be conference free, isn't it? But listen, I want to win to get at least Europa football. But with all the hype about this game, I think I just feel it'll be 1-1.
Okay, 1-1, yeah. Okay. How about you, Des?
Do you know, I've got a really sneaky feeling that whoever wins, and I'll pump for one in a minute, but I've got a really sneaky feeling that whoever wins will come from behind. I think this game's going to be a bit of a roller coaster. Do you know, somebody might be winning at halftime, and then it goes the other way second half because they've got all to play for. But I think it'll be 2-1 to Forest. I'm confident for the reasons I've said, not just because blind loyalty. I just think at home, the atmosphere, both teams are not in tip-top form. You know, they've got some results to get us here. And I just think we might just nick it on that basis. And the fact that all the pressure really is on Chelsea. Forest have got that place now. We've had a little bit of a meltdown through falling down the table. Anything now is a positive with Chelsea have actually got it all to lose, and we've got it all to win. So I think that pressure might tell them we'll nick it 2-1.
Okay, cool. How about you, Jem? What are you saying, man?
I think it's going to be like the Man United game. I think it's going to be very tight. I don't see any goals. I think the goals will come a bit later in the game. And I think it's going to be one of them ones where it could be 60, 70, 80 odd minutes where either team could probably score. I'm obviously going to back my own team because it's you have to. And at the end of the day, I'm going to go with a 1-0 Chelsea. But I do think it's going to be a really tight game. I think we're going to be. I think we're both going to be quite reserved. I don't think that it's going to have that final feel a little bit. You know, like you're in the FA Cup final or something, just because of what's on the line. Got that feeling it's going to be a little bit jittery. Yeah. A little bit jittery. People are going to make silly passes or the wrong pass, and it's whatever. And then later on in the game, I can just see something happening. So hopefully a 1-0 to Chelsea is what I'm going with.
Listen, I hope you're right, man. But in terms of keeping a clean sheet on the road right now, Jem, listen, I said about our form. Our form on the road still hasn't been amazing. This is the problem. No. This is the problem, man. And I just don't see us not conceding the goal against Chris Wood, man. That guy's so clinical. That's the thing. He's clinical, man. I'll still say 2-1 Chelsea, only because I think we're actually gonna do the job. If we draw this game, we need to hope that fucking United can do something against Villa. But I very much doubt it, man. I very much doubt it. I don't see United.
That's not happening. That is not happening. You know what? We've got to. You know what? Problem is, we've got to rely on, because I can't see Villa losing at Old Trafford. We've got to round Everton beating Newcastle.
Yeah, you
That's
see,
not gonna happen as well.
that's not going to happen either.
You know, but Everton are doing well though. Everton are doing very well recently.
Yeah.
Like,
More
that's
defensive.
not going to be an easy game. That's not going to be an easy game for Newcastle, bro. Trust me. But yeah, listen. Only thing I'm coping right now is Villa's form at Old Trafford. So bad. Like even you know what I mean. It's been so bad, bro. So let's see in it if they can at least hold it up and just you know drop points, but maybe just drop 2 points. If anything. Exactly. But listen, just to finish up here, Axel, big up for the donation. It says, Don, what's your thoughts on Pedro? He is another Nkuku. Bro, I said earlier, for me, I wouldn't really mind it as like a, you know, as a striker option, I would say. But then in the same breath, I have said I want specialists going forward, innit? I don't want someone that can play here and play there and play there. I want specialists going forward. You know what I'm saying? So I'd rather we focus on the main striker, someone who knows the role, a natural striker, and promote Gil, bro. You promote Gil, you keep Jackson there. That should keep 3 people there. So listen, if he comes in, I'm not gonna act like he's a bad player because I do like him, but I'm just focusing more on specialists now, innit? That's where I'm kind of at now, man. I can't lie. I thought about it more. I said to a few people earlier, I think I'll probably take it, but when I deep it more, I'm like, I don't know, man. 60 M's, I want specialists now, Jem, man.
Yeah, I mean, the money's the problem for me, number one. And number two, it's like you're saying there, oh, he's a replacement for Nkunku. Nkunku's best position was 10. He's not going to be playing there, man. So how is he going to fit in the team and what we're going to do with him is my problem. It's like, you know, where is he going to play? And unless we're going to play him as a number 9, as a second option in the number 9 and give us saying up there, like, I don't know. But yeah, for me, it's again the money. I don't think he's more than a 30 to 40 million pound player personally. That's my opinion.
I hear it, bro. I hear it, man. But listen, let them know where they can find you, Dor, man. Love for your time, bro.
Dor on tour. I follow Forest up and down the country, just like Des. Like I said, we do Forest content. This year has been crazy talking about Forest. So yeah, if people want to follow me, Dor on tour as well. And yeah, it's gonna be fun on Sunday when we get the 3 points and Champions League football. See you lot's faces.
Listen, I hope not, man. Des. Love for coming on, my bro, man. Are you on the same channel? Do you guys on the same channel, or have you got your own channel?
Well, I go on Dor on tour a lot and do bits with him, but I'm on Twitter at Des Oldham, just as my name is there, and I do like a pre-match and a post-match analysis, just like 90 seconds, 2 minutes, just to like straight away, just whatever's on top of my head, literally as the game finishes. So if anyone wants to see what I've got to say about this one, do check that out.
He does like to cause trouble on Twitter as well, so just be a follower. He only cause trouble.
I hear it, man. I hear it. And Jem, listen, this guy's doing made his YouTube, man. Let them know they can find you, bro.
Well, I have a YouTube channel, but YouTube decided to ruin my channel, didn't they? So I have to create a new one. But
really?
yeah, I've got like nearly 10k followers, but it's just it went a bit downhill. I had some problems, so I need to start a new one. And I did say to everyone, the summer transfer market is when I'm going to start it again. That's what I used to do. I used to do all the summer's transfer windows and stuff like that. So we'll start from there, guys.
Spend another billion. So
It's all, Chelsea in summer windows are always interesting, always fun, always entertaining. You know, a lot of times we just pissed off. You know what I mean? So we don't tend to get what we want, but yeah, we'll see.
Good.
Nah, big up, man. Big up. But listen, people, make sure that you're subscribing to the channel. I'm jumping on Dor's channel now for about half an hour or so. We'll preview the game there as well. So I've redirected to their people. Make sure that you're there. And listen, leave a little comment as well to say that you've been redirected.
Make sure everyone subscribes to Don, man. Everyone subscribe to Don now. Everyone subscribe.
Yes.
Hit the like button as well, people.
Make sure, people, man. But listen, Sunday is fucking doomsday, blood.
Up the Chels. Let's go. Up the Chels.
Chels, man.